Okay, so who's going to win the next election in the United States?
General election for president?
Yes.
The Democratic candidate.
Good. Okay, what's your name and where are you from?
I'm Victor Horcasitas. I was born in Mexico City, lived in Silicon Valley, formative years in Washington, D.C., went to school at the University of Maryland, University of Pennsylvania, Johns Hopkins, and I lived in New York for 5 years, and now I've been in Barcelona a lovely, fast 26 years.
What did you study again?
Entrepreneurial finance at the Wharton School.
Okay, and who was your favorite teacher?
Oh, Solomon.
Solomon.
Yes, he
Why?
was legendary. The guy was packed with jokes, and he was kind, humane, and willing to sue the University of Pennsylvania if it did not immediately respond to defend the rights and citizens of the university, who got arrested, I think, under strange conditions.
Okay, well, we'll leave it at strange conditions. What kind of work do you do, Victor?
Right now I'm actually directing the Barcelona Metropolitan. It's a magazine that was created for the English-speaking audience, I should say English-speaking expats of the Barcelona community. We are now basically scaling it. It's been around for 26 years. We love to capture the stories of people who have chosen to make Barcelona their home, have moved here, and so they need everything that you would need for any other city, except they want to consume that content in English. And we have a particular focus. My wife is the editor. We love to capture the stories of females who are running companies. They've chosen to come here, start a company, usually in a country that's not their native level English, and we like to help them get whatever, I guess, visibility we can.
Okay, and I'm sure they appreciate that for sure. Why did you decide to become an advisor at Homeless Entrepreneur, and what kind of impact do you aim to achieve thanks to this collaboration?
Well, I remember the first time that I heard about Homeless Entrepreneur, you came on to my radio show, we discussed it, and you said, I'm going to make it happen, we're going to make it big. And you know, when I first moved here, it was hard to find homeless people, but since 1996, you see it more and more. And actually, because you've been so consistent and in your messaging, it makes it very easy to understand that there's a lot of people who have a lot of talent, but for whatever unfortunate circumstances in life, they have found themselves in a really tough situation, sometimes without a house. And if they're on the street, but they have talent, I like to be able to offer you great support in helping them, becoming a contributing member of society. And if what little support I can give through the magazine, with printing, with content creation, I put it at the disposal for Homeless Entrepreneur. It's a great mission.
Well, that's amazing. It's really helpful too, because as you know, the image is important, the content, the creation, and most importantly, reaching the right people there. What was your perception of homelessness before forming part of Homeless Entrepreneur?
Homelessness in Barcelona?
In general.
It's usually, my perception is that it's much more prevalent than people think it is. There's a lot of people living at, I guess, risk of social exclusion, and sometimes you just don't see them. In certain cities, they're more effective at hiding it. And also a lot of that has to do with the climate. So if you have a nice weather, it's easier to kind of sleep outside, but if it's really cold, it's harder. So I've been in Northern Europe, and there's a lot more homelessness than people think there is. And the evolution over the last 26 years, and one thing I'm very proud of is my city in Barcelona is very welcoming to refugees and people from other countries, but sometimes the resources and the plans are not quite there yet, and we've seen a dramatic increase in the level of people that you find sleeping outside. You never used to see that. Now it's not that uncommon.
Well, as you know, there are local elections in Barcelona coming up soon.
Yes.
If you could make a suggestion to the future mayor of Barcelona to address the issue of homelessness, what message would you share with him or her?
Well, one of the things that I have found is that if you're homeless but you have talent, and if you are homeless and you really want to get back into society, one of the challenges I've seen is that if you don't have clean clothes, if you don't smell okay, for the best entrepreneurial opportunity that you might find yourself in, when you're going to interviews with clients, with suppliers, it's really hard. So the availability of, say, a laundromat, or for your ability to take a shower within the community would be a huge help. And I think there are one or two other organizations that are doing that now, and I would recommend giving them a little bit of a hand, because these are non-government association, non-profit, and they need all the help and visibility they can get.
If I'm not mistaken, there's one called Wash and Help.
Yes.
Right? We actually met them thanks to you, and the first person actually received support to them thanks to you as well. So that person got a job in southern Spain. He needed to wash his clothes, and he needed to wash himself, take a shower. And afterwards, we went to get a haircut, and he shaved and everything, and he looked like a completely different person. He looked like a model too. But thanks to Wash and Help, he was able to take that next step, and it was really helpful.
Fantastic.
How's your perception of homelessness changed since collaborating with us or being a little bit closer? Has it changed, and if so, how?
Well, it's changed mostly in the sense that it's more relatable. When you're doing your activities in front of the Mobile World Congress, or you're sleeping outside at Urquinaona before a huge mass congregates to if it's a big festive or holiday in Barcelona, and you're doing it because you're quite effective at placing the mission and your activities right in front of politicians, you can't help but get the media attention that really helps to make it more relatable, and you can talk about it openly, not just criticizing. And there's a lot of, tendency to make comments and that are basically insulting our mayor.
Yeah.
And whether you're a big fan or not,
Yeah.
he or she still has a huge responsibility to take care of our less fortunate. What they don't need are complaints, they need people to contribute. And you set that example by going out there and actually spending the night out there with them, whether it's rain or snow. I've seen you there, and that's why I'm a huge fan, and I think this is what you're doing, exactly what we need to do to improve.
We appreciate it, and hopefully we can get the upcoming mayor, if it's the same or different, support with what we're doing. That would be amazing. Considering you kind of like a content king, if you will, in Barcelona Metropolitan for expats and all the people you're doing, what kind of advisory support are you providing to the community exactly? If you could be specific, like you've helped with content, articles about what we're doing, you had people write about what we're doing, include us. Could you give an example of the support you're providing?
Well, I think there's 3 or 4. First is we're happy to write articles, sponsored articles, if you will, but of course they're free of charge to people who are doing good things in the community. We're happy to do interviews, and I call interviews and podcasts similar to what we're doing here, to understand the plight, but sometimes it makes it more relatable when you take a certain specific person, you hear her story or his story, their journey and how they've transformed it, because it can also be inspirational. Another way that we help is I have a team of social media ninjas, we call them, and they go out and they promote the articles, and they go out on LinkedIn, on Instagram, on TikTok to basically take pictures and again support the same stories, trying to make a difference by giving visibility.
That's really important. How important is it to be well advised in order to reach one's goals?
Oh, it's incredibly important. It's one of my big frustrations here in Spain and in Catalonia, particularly when you need, counsel, an expert in the subject. The US, UK, Northern European markets tend to value support that is given by consultants just in general. But if you don't have the right guidance, the right mentor, you can spin your wheels for a long time. And one of the things that I'm actually very proud of is helping organizations that put mentoring and coaching out there that's easy for reach. One of them, for example, is the Professional Women's Network or the Barcelona Women's Network. There's another organization I think would be really proud. I'm sure you know the Fundación Ared.
Yeah.
Ared, their mission is to help women who are at risk of social exclusion. Many of them come from prison, and when they get out, they have a hard time trying to get away from the community, whether it's drugs or whatever it was that got them into trouble. Yeah. And what I'm really proud of is that they have been able to place a woman in a new job every single day for the last year and a half.
That's really cool. That's an experience for the person that's receiving the support and also those helping, because it means that the help is leading to the impact that they want, which is a better life. And let's speak about yourself a little bit now. What professional milestone are you the proudest of, and why?
Milestone, okay. Well, having had the chance to guide my daughters is perhaps, well, not perhaps, it's without a doubt the most important milestone I've been able to. They're now, one is an influencer on TikTok with over 2 million followers, or I don't know. She's now monetizing that quite well and doing a lot of work for good in our, she just came back from a trip to Uganda, for example. Nice. And she's helping to do whatever she's a brand ambassador for a number of organizations. She chose one, and she's helping them get more visibility through, her followers. Nice. And my other one's studying medicine, which is a calling that I wish I had stayed with, but she's studying biomedicine in Edinburgh. Professionally, I've started a few different companies, and right now I'm really excited about the trajectory of within the American Society, the United States Navy League, starting the English radio where we met, and now Metropolitan, the leading magazine for the English speakers of Barcelona. So there's a trajectory to try to help integrate people who have chosen to make Barcelona their home and help them avoid some of the many mistakes that I and others have made by providing a safe environment for them to come and ask questions. I'd say I'm pretty proud of being within the international community, one of the, I guess, players here, and this is huge because I've been here 26 years and I continue to love my city and get people coming in here.
Yeah, no, definitely a reference point for Americans in Barcelona. In reference to your professional growth and reaching your professional goals, how important are social media channels like LinkedIn?
Oh, incredibly important. Whether it's LinkedIn or Instagram or TikTok, I'm a LinkedIn whore, so I'll be right up front about it. I'm on it constantly, all day long, and the buying power of your average user on LinkedIn is between 2 to 3 times what it would be on TikTok or Instagram. So if you're looking for B2B, LinkedIn is by definition the one that you want to be on. Yeah. However, if you're doing more B2C work and visibility, you have to have an influencer level, at least at 100,000. My daughter insisted at least at 1 million. But then you can start to really make a difference. The trick is, how do you get there? And one of the things that Metropolitan is, I didn't say this before, is we help people grow their social network.
That's cool. That's really cool and important as well, especially for the younger people trying to create their professional brand when they get into the job market. What kind of challenges and benefits of collaborating as an advisor have you dealt with homeless entrepreneurs? What's a challenge maybe? What's an opportunity that you think that you've had to face?
Well, one of the challenges that I've had is not really understanding how I can add value to those people. For example, we have discussed that I'm more than happy to help print CVs or materials that they need. If they're an entrepreneur and they need some help in getting good prices because I have a good printing partners, I can get that for them. Or I have a shower in my own office. If people needed to do that, I'm more than happy to do so. But nobody has yet really taken advantage of some of the offerings that I've had. I've had one-to-one sessions with various people. No. I'd like to be more effective in doing that. Okay. And I think by joining and being more proactive by Homeless Entrepreneur, I can perhaps understand the pain points. Because a lot of times there's humility, there's integrity that people have, and they don't want to be asking for help. So sometimes you just kind of need to give it to them, and for it to be received in a welcoming way, not that they're pitied. Yeah. They just need very tangible ways of how they can improve to get their visibility out. And if I can put my resources to their use, fantastic.
We have a guy named David Sanchez, and he has a sandboard and snowboard business that he's working on. So he shapes them, and he's also designing them. Maybe being able to speak with him because he's looking for a mentor or someone that could guide him could be a very effective way, especially with your experience in the entrepreneurial activities.
Yeah, let's tee up an interview. Let's do a TikTok or Instagram, and let's put an article into the magazine. Put it out there.
Okay, we'll do that then after this interview. Perfect. And if you could choose an action that could get the attention of international press, what would it be?
International press.
Reuters, BBC,
well,
CNN.
I'm taking my lead from you.
Go ahead.
When you're doing your sleep outs in front of the Mobile World Congress, in front of Biz Barcelona, in front of Smart Cities Barcelona, now they're upcoming. We have the EU Startup Summit. Yeah. Anything that attracts a lot of visibility, where people can see how their direct contribution makes a difference in the lives of entrepreneurs, homeless or not. Yeah. The media tends to love this kind of content, so being at the right place at the right time, which is a specialty that you seem to have, is key. And if I can be of more support, let me know. Maybe we can print some roll-ups, and I can ask my interns to participate in such an activity.
That would be cool. And also, if you ever want to come out to Davos and sleep out in 17 below zero, you have that extra space waiting for you.
I used to go with my freshman year in college at the University of Maryland. We go camping every year. Yeah. And usually there's about 3 feet of snow, but I haven't done it in a while. I'm just too busy. So actually it's very attractive. I don't mind the cold, but I have to say I've never been in that degree of cold weather. Still, I would love to do it with you, and I'll take you up on that, and let me know in advance, because sometimes I find out you've done it, it's like, oh, I've already got meetings there.
2024, January. So
That's a big space, man.
it's the same, the World Economic Forum.
I know. Do you have the dates already?
If we go on Google, we'll find it for sure, but normally it's like the second or third week, or the last week maybe.
I saw you with this rapper last time.
Oh, Will.i.am.
Yes.
Will.i.am was there. We met a lot of very interesting people, and it also forces you to keep your focus when you don't sleep much, right? So it's an intense experience, and you meet a lot of people that can help you as well with your business. So hopefully you can make it up to that one. And out of all your interactions you had as a homeless entrepreneur advisor, is there one that sticks out more than the other?
Well, I love talking about some of the synergies that you create with, in particular, renewable energies or waste energy, helping to maybe achieve some of the sustainable development goals that you have been talking about and been, I guess, preaching for the longest time. And it really opens the eyes of people. But I think we just need to be doing it more often.
Yeah. Practice makes perfect, right? Okay, now, there are going to be one or two other things left, right? So, would you recommend other professionals to become an advisor with homeless entrepreneur? If so, why?
Oh, absolutely, because it's really fascinating to see people who are having a really hard time and yet have fantastic talent. And if you're, I guess, like me, you want to see entrepreneurs succeed. So I've been a part of the entrepreneurial ecosystem here in Barcelona for a long time as a business angel investor. And when you see a really cool opportunity, a really good talent that's not being driven to its fullest potential, it's painful. And so if you want a nice pool of people that's already well defined, they've already been basically filtered for being having competencies in getting it done. Being an entrepreneur, I think, is extremely, a mentor for these entrepreneurs would be extremely fulfilling. And so it's nice and easy. You make a real tangible difference in their life, and maybe you can be part of their journey and their story of success.
Exactly. Okay, now there are really two things left. What can future homeless entrepreneur advisors do to collaborate with you as a HE advisor? How can they join what you're doing to create more impact through communication and content?
Well, one thing that seems that I would love to have is perhaps a homeless entrepreneur, like a regular article, whether it's a week or once a month, that maintains you in top of mind in terms of visibility of your mission and what you're doing, and also develops a rhythm. And when other people see what you're doing, perhaps some of the participants in your program will learn to do it, and we're happy to publish their articles as well.
Well, that'd be cool, and maybe just like a HE profile once a month,
Yeah.
discussing one person that's being empowered out of poverty.
You know, I'm doing a lot of interviews on LinkedIn as well.
Okay.
And so if you have a chance, or if you haven't done it, LinkedIn Live, the algorithms for LinkedIn Live are fantastic because you can broadcast simultaneously, not only on LinkedIn, but also I think on 3 to 5 other networks as well. So when I do we do it on YouTube, we do it on Metropolitan's Facebook, we do it on Instagram, and of course on LinkedIn.
Okay, this is the last question. I'd like you to think about one individual that you think could make the most impact in our community to speed up the process of ending homelessness and empowering people out of poverty. I'd like you to name that individual and send them a message directly through the camera.
All right. I know who it is.
Okay.
Pau Solanilla. He's the city commissioner. He's new. His job is to basically take the requests of the expat community and others who want to invest into Barcelona and make sure the city, the municipal government, hears about it and solves those problems. But he's also extremely given to NGOs, and he's an expert at bringing foreign direct investment into Barcelona. But more than that, he's very friendly and he gives fantastic advice. So if we could get somebody with his visibility onto a regular basis with a homeless entrepreneur, doesn't have to be a huge commitment, but Pau, if you can, help out this organization. There's really fantastic people here and they're making a tremendous difference to make Barcelona a fantastic city.
Perfect.
Done?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Thank you. Okay.
Okay.
Take a seat. I have to take this.
Ah.